What's up? Welcome into a Tuesday edition of Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Chris Yow, Mo Patton, Justin Kulik on the controls. Welcome back, JK. What a Tuesday we have in store for you today. Obviously, we have a lot to get to because we didn't get to everything yesterday, Mo.
And we probably won't get to everything today either. So,
probably not. I mean,
there's a lot going on. Maybe we just need to extend our working hours a little bit.
Sometimes it's not a terrible idea. And it's funny because, we talked about that a couple of times. It's just there are certain times of the year where your show needs to be 3 hours. And then sometimes of the year you wish it was just 1 hour because
or less.
I mean, sometimes there's just nothing to talk about. And sometimes there's nothing but stuff to talk about. So, it is what it is. And that's why, we're right here in the happy medium. So, man, late night last night, I guess. I don't know. Well, other than obviously so much going on and everything and whatnot, what's up on in your world?
Well, I'm kind of excited because after the show later on this evening, I'm going to run down to Belmont University, the Curb Event Center, where Fisk is hosting a gymnastics meet, their final meet of the season. I don't know if you call it a duel, but it's them, the Lady Bulldogs, and one other team. It will be my second gymnastics meet. I once covered, if you can believe this, the SEC gymnastics meet at Bridgestone. It was interesting.
The Sarah Patterson Invitational?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. but yeah, so running down there later on tonight. Looking forward to that. And I'll report back tomorrow how that goes. But yeah, we got plenty going on in addition to that. Tonight's the first four, by the way.
Tonight is the first four. We may have to talk about who's going to win those in this one a little bit later.
Fortunately, Vanderbilt fans will be preoccupied from that Mississippi State Pitt game in the first four.
Yeah, they won't have to watch it because they'll be watching their own team.
Exactly.
to take on which kids are smarter.
Yeah, the Brain Bowl.
The Brain Bowl tonight. So, yeah, there's a lot of things going on tonight. Really excited about it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun in the world of sports. We'll talk about quite a bit of it, but we do need to get to that schedule and results, and it's easy to do because we have the rundown.
Real quick, before we do the rundown, I have come across a bell that I would like to run past y'all really, really fast. You tell me if you hate it. If you love it, then we'll keep doing it, but it's just a new one. Okay, never doing that again. That's like a foghorn. All right.
that was definitely not a bell.
Sorry about that. All right, I got you on the
Okay, here we go.
Here's the rundown.
In high school baseball from Monday, Bartlesville, Oklahoma defeated Brentwood Academy 7-5. Columbia Central with a 5-3 win over Blackman. Goodpasture defeated Brentwood High School 9-1. It was Rockville 12, Brentwood 7. Cannon County with a 10-0 win over Culleoka. Beach Edge Centennial 2-1. It was Christ Presbyterian Academy 11, Charles Page of Oklahoma, no relation to Fred J. Page of Franklin, 4. Clarksville defeated Henry County 6-4. Clarksville Academy defeated Fred J. Page of Franklin 7-1. It was Decatur, Alabama 7, Giles County 1. Ensworth with a sweep of Father Ryan 1-0 and 5-0. The Irish Bats were not smiling. Middle Tennessee Monarchs with a 7-2 win over Franklin Road Christian. Gallatin defeated Brentwood Academy 6-4. It was Liberty Creek 7, Grace Christian of Knoxville 4. Hume Fogg 26, Stratford 6. Joe Burns with an 11-0 win over Kenwood. Overton defeated Hunters Lane 22-7. Columbia Academy behind a no-hitter from freshman Gunnar Skelton defeated Lawrence County, host Lawrence County 4-0. Independence 12, Lebanon 0. Middle Tennessee Christian 10, Davidson Academy 0. And Rossview 14, Montgomery Central won.
It's Mount Pleasant with a 12-2 win over Hampshire, and Tullahoma down to Oakland 4-0. Ravenwood 9-1 winners over Portland, and Nolensville 3, Riverdale 2. Spring Hill was a 2-1 winner over Loretto, and Stewart's Creek down Siegel 7-3. Eagleville took care of Summertown 8-1, and University School in Nashville took a pair from Providence Christian 10-0 and 12-0. White House down to East Robertson 5-1, and Station Camp was a 3-1 winner over Wilson Central. In softball action, Blackman 12, Cascade 2, Columbia Central shutting out Shelbyville 12-0. It was Cosby 3, Ravenwood 2, Marshall County a 10-6 winner over Lawrence County in district play to start the year. That's something. 11 and 17-2 over Laverne. Mount Pleasant 14-2 over Culleoka, and Murfreesboro Central was an 8-6 winner over Cannon County.
Also in softball action, Columbia Academy on the road with a 12-3 win at Oakland. Green Hill defeated Riverdale 12-1. It was Mount Juliet 4, Smyrna 1, Siegel 6, Stewart's Creek 1. Down at Gulf Shores, Summertown picked up a pair of victories, down Itawamba, Mississippi 9-0, and American Christian Academy of Alabama 7-1. In boys soccer action yesterday, Agathos Classical came up with a 4-2 win over Columbia Academy. Community down Middle Tennessee Christian 5-1. Zion Christian with a 9-0 win over FC Boyd. Laverne edged Siegel 3-2. Lebanon and Riverdale played to a 1-1 draw. Rockvale shut out Murfreesboro Central 2-0. Ross View down White House 8-2. And Columbia Central and Spring Hill played a matinee to a 1-1 draw. In NBA action last night, the Grizzlies out at Dallas with the 104-88 victory.
Blue Cross basketball action today. Fulton down Volunteer earlier this morning in the opener, 69-55, and Martin Luther King ousted Sparta in White County 64-52. Currently, Ridgeway and Chester County are in action in the third quarter, and it is currently Chester County 23, Ridgeway 16 in that one. Later this afternoon, Haywood will take on Unicoi County at 2:45, Memphis Overton and McMinn County at 4:30, and Sevier County Hillsborough at 6 o'clock. All of those games can be seen on the NFHS network or heard at TWSAAsports.com. You can listen to them live there. Tomorrow, before we go on the air, Blackman and Independence at 10 a.m. Memphis East will take on the defending Class 4A state champion Dobbins Bennett at 11:30, and then Fayetteville from Lincoln County will take on Chattanooga Prep at 1:15.
Hopefully the Tigers will be able to stouten up in that one, Chris.
Hopefully they will. Baseball action from earlier today. Gallatin defeated Jackson Southside 20-0. Summit edged Hillcrest of Alabama 4-3. At 2 o'clock today, Huntsville, Alabama, and Hendersonville. And 2:30 is Giles County and Roth, Oklahoma. At 2:30 as well, Liberty Creek and Carnes. BGA takes on Booker T. Washington of Oklahoma at 4, and as well as Beach and Brentwood at 4. Christ Presbyterian takes on Broken Arrow, Oklahoma at 4. Also at 4:30, Murfreesboro Central is at Marshall County. Summit takes on Good Pasture. Dixon County has Riverside, and Brentwood Academy against Seymour.
At 5 o'clock, Santa Fe travels to Cornersville. Hampshire hosts Frank Hughes at 5:30. Also at 5:30, Joe Burns is at Kenwood. 6 o'clock starts for Zion Christian at Culleoka, Mount Juliet and Centennial, Clarksville Academy and Clarksville Northeast. Clarksville plays at Henry County at 6. Hume Fogg is at Overton at 6. Also at 6 is Stewart's Creek at Siegel, Stewart County at West Creek. At 6:30, Brooks, Alabama comes to Lawrence County. Spring Hill and Loretto play at 4:30. That game is at Loretto. Smyrna and Columbia Central play at 6:30. Also at 6:30, Middle Tennessee Monarchs are at Columbia Academy. Middle Tennessee Christian is at Davidson Academy. Station Camp is at Ravenwood. Mount Pleasant is at Richland, and Montgomery Central is at Rossview. 7 o'clock starts for Brentwood and host Blackman, and Summit and host Oakland. And East Robertson plays Eagleville today at a time unknown to us.
Softball action. Columbia Academy goes over to Cascade at 5 o'clock. Also at 5 is Murfreesboro Central at Rockville. Mount Pleasant at Wayne County at 5:30. Columbia Central hosts Lewis County. And Culleoka takes on visiting Santa Fe in the debut of Santa Fe's new coach, which you can find a full story on mainstreetmurray.com. Go check that out. Also at 5:30, Spring Hill is in Lewisburg at Marshall County. Fayetteville comes to Zion Christian. That's a 6 o'clock first pitch. Riverdale's at Gordonsville at 6:30. Siegels at Huntland at 6:30. And Blackman goes to Tullahoma. It's a 7:15 first pitch. Boys soccer, first touch at 5:30. Watertown at Lebanon. Oakland at Smyrna. Columbia Academy at Spring Hill at 6 o'clock. Harriman hosts Westmoreland. That's probably 5 o'clock then. 5 o'clock our time, 6 o'clock theirs. Marshall County at Zion Christian at 6. Culleoka hosting Waverly. Wilson Central at Gallatin at 7 o'clock. Hunters Lanes at Greenbrier. Father Ryan hosting Hendersonville. Green Hills at Macon County. Columbia Central is at Spring Hill. That doesn't make sense. I don't think that's accurate.
I don't believe that's accurate either.
No.
Since they just played yesterday.
Yeah.
No, that's Columbia Academy is at Spring Hill. And
that's right.
5:30 first
5:30.
touch.
Yeah, there you go. And Antioch is at Stewart's Creek at 7.
There we go. Men's basketball action tonight of local interest. As we mentioned, Yale is at Memorial Gym against Vanderbilt in the opening round of the NIT. That's an 8 o'clock tip. You can see it on ESPNU. In college baseball action today, Milligan and Cumberland started at 1 o'clock over in Lebanon. At 3 o'clock, Austin Peay is at Western Kentucky. At 4 o'clock on the SEC Network Plus, Lipscomb is at Tennessee. Belmont plays Vanderbilt at 6 today at First Horizon Park. That game is also on ESPN Plus. And also at 6, Tribeca is at Union out in Jackson. In junior college action, the Columbia State Chargers host Wabash Valley at Dave Hall Field. That's a doubleheader, and the first game started at 1. So hustle out there. On the ice, the Red Wings of Detroit visit Bridgestone Arena for a 7 o'clock puck drop against the Predators. You can see it on Valley Sports South, and that is your rundown.
Yeah, the rundown in the spring gets real interesting.
Yeah.
Today's
on your toes.
No question. Today's top story, Mo. We've got a couple things I want to get to. Number one, I want to mention Mr. and Miss Basketball winners were announced yesterday, and so we'll go through that list really quickly. In the girls' side, Division II Class A was Angelica Velez from the Webb School. Division II AA, Jelani Cambridge of Innsworth. And yesterday there was a question in our comment section about the Cambridge sisters. 2 of them apparently are looking to transfer, one of them from Kentucky, and the question was, do they all end up at Vanderbilt? And boy, wouldn't that be something for that program.
I do not think Shay Ralph would be opposed.
If she can get them all, she'll take them, huh?
Yeah, we'll take all the Cambridges we can get. So
that's like having the Hazes. I'm just saying, if you can get them all, you'll take it. Class 1A Miss Basketball, Blair Bogus of Wayne County, taking home that honor. Jada Harrison of Westview in Class 2A. Tamia Lawson, I'm not sure if it's Tamia or Tamaya Lawson. Jackson Southside in 3A, and then Avery Treadwell of Bearden with the shocking Class 4A Miss Basketball Award, edging out Amani Berry.
I don't know what year Treadwell is. Berry is a junior. I don't know if that had any bearing on it, but there's that.
On the boys' side, in Division 2A, Isaiah West, I'm just going to go on a limb and say, edged Eddie Ricks for Mr. Basketball title in Class A. In Class 2A in Division 2, Lucas Walls of Webb Knoxville took home the honors. In 1A, it was Roderick Robinson Jr. of Middleton, Jalen Jones of East Nashville with the first ever Mr. Basketball Award to go to an Eagle in Class 2A. Demarion Yates of Fayette Ware takes on Class 3A, and Jared Hall of Lebanon was Class 4A Mr. Basketball. So there you go.
Congrats to all.
Congrats to all, indeed. Our actual top story today, Mo, you sent me a tweet earlier, and I found this to be very interesting. I don't know if we're going to have enough time to really dive into it the way that we probably should and would like to right this second, but
I think it'll keep.
First and foremost, the Southeastern Conference baseball schedule, according to Kendall Rogers of D1Baseball.com, his source is telling him that the SEC will be going to a 2-8 model for baseball, where you have 2 permanent opponents and 8 rotating opponents. And I'm just I guess 8 does make sense, but it neither 7 nor 8 makes sense when you have 15 opponents.
Well, I mean, if you're going with 2 permanent opponents, then 8 allows you to keep the 30-game schedule, which,
right,
the 10-weekend schedule that the conference seems to be committed to, and that makes sense. I mean, so I think that's if it's 2 permanent, then it's pretty much 8 rotating. But so I guess once you come up with the 2, then 8 is your only alternative, to my way of thinking. So
sure. Now,
I mean, you could go 3-7, maybe. I don't know why 2 permanent makes more sense, but that's what they seem to have come up with. That was announced by the league.
Was
today.
it finally announced? Okay.
Yeah, according to this article I'm looking at on the Mississippi Clarion Ledger, it was announced by the league. So hopefully it's on the SECsports.com website as well. And let's see.
Now,
there's an article here. 7 SEC sports future scheduling formats are approved, and I'm sure baseball is among those. Yeah. Regular season, each team will play a 3-game series against 2 permanent opponents and 8 rotating opponents for a total of 30 games. Standings will be kept in a single division format. SEC baseball tournament format to be determined. So they're still not gotten quite that far yet.
Yeah, I can understand.
Yeah. Let's kind of hold off on that one. We ain't ready.
We'll figure it out as we go. And it may be one of those where you just take 12. I mean, leave 4 at home instead of just 2. I don't know. That being said, Tennessee and Vanderbilt most likely to be one of each other's permanent opponent, but who's the other for those 2 schools?
I'm thinking, just spitballing here, I'm thinking Tennessee, Florida, and I'm thinking Vanderbilt, Kentucky.
Who's Kentucky's other rival then? South Carolina?
Probably.
And then South Carolina, Georgia?
Mm-hmm.
I guess that works. I was thinking Kentucky might be both Tennessee and Vanderbilt's, but yeah, I can see Tennessee, Florida. I mean, obviously with the 2 programs being where they are and what they are, it makes sense, and I think would probably be pretty smart on their part if they were going to do it. So I don't know. I mean, I think 2-8 is good. What if this were football? Wouldn't that be? What if this were football? What if they said, you know what, we're playing 10 conference games?
You want to see a mutiny, don't you?
I'm just saying, wouldn't that be interesting?
10 conference games? No, never happened. And 2 non-conference?
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think there's any way it would ever happen.
Exactly. Yeah.
Justin, do you have thoughts? No.
I do.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I know that you were opening up your audio there so that we can get some music playing, and I appreciate it. But yeah, so again, good show. coming up for you. We've got we've got Joe Rexrode set to join us. He'll talk to us here shortly, hopefully, and we'll also get into the NFL, some local product news in the NFL. More on college hoops, NIT, and NCAA tournament. And, of course, choose Chip. Chip Walters will join us in the 3 o'clock hour. And it's Top 5 Tuesday, where we'll draft our top 5 sandwiches. That sounds fun.
Check.
There you go. What's up, man? We hear you. You don't want to be heard? That's up to you. But yeah, we'll take a quick break here, and we will get to we'll try to get in touch with Joe Rexrode to join us, talk a little Preds, talk a little Titans as well. All of that and more on Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. We'll be right back to the Lee Company studio right after these short messages from our fine sponsors. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net. Custom Stone Handlers supplies over 600 distributors and suppliers with quality stone products. Along with River Stone, we produce and distribute over 100 building, landscape, and other bulk products. Our goal is to provide quality products, service, and partnerships to ensure our customers' success. We firmly believe that the measure of any person or company is how they treat other people and customers. Give them a call at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com.
With Lee Company technology, the best handymen are hands-off. Lee Company techs have been using visual findings and other smart technology tools for years to add transparency and virtually take customers along. You see what we see, whether we're in a crawl space or on a roof. With Lee Company, technology helps us help you, no matter what's happening in the world or at your house.
Welcome back in Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. This is the Lee Company Studio, or Lee Company Studios with an S, Mo, as we are undergoing renovations at the Lee Company Studio, and that's the perfect thing, right? Lee Company and talking about Lee. Sorry, Mo.
That's all good. Where we at?
You were unmuted during the commercial somehow, so I had to mute you because I heard you I heard you clear your throat, and I was like, that's not supposed to happen. And then I forgot to unmute you, so I apologize.
See,
but,
that's okay. Nobody wants to hear what I've got to say anyway. It's no big deal.
It's all good. We do have Joe Rexrode though joining us now from the aeroport.
Which one?
Which airport are you in, Joe?
I'm in Nashville, about to head to Orlando.
Oh, not to the Mouse House, I don't guess.
No, thank goodness. No more Mouse House for a while, I hope.
There will be a lot less walking involved in this one.
Hello?
Yeah, we may just need to have him. Justin, can you call him? That's just going to be easier. Joe, we're gonna give you a call, and tell the internet to kick rocks. Yeah, Joe's going to join us from the airport and
from BNA. So he's just getting started with his week.
Yeah, and should be a heck of a tournament down there. They'll get to see Duke and Iona. He'll also, of course, get to see Tennessee. And who else is in Orlando?
Hang on just a second. Let me get from my women's bracket to my men's bracket.
He had the women's just picked and ready to go, huh?
Yeah. No. Let's see. You also got San Diego State, Charleston.
Oh, that's a great game.
Virginia Furman. And let's see. Is that it?
Those are two great 12-5 matchups there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. So you got 4 games, and that is on the 16th and 18th. So that's Thursday, Saturday in Orlando. I don't know what the times are, but yeah, again, you've got San Diego State, Charleston, Virginia Furman in the South, and you've got Duke, Oral Roberts, and Tennessee, Louisiana in the East. So
those will be good. Those will be fantastic games. I'll tell you what, Orlando really did. They lucked out and got some big time games there. Of course, it's going to be a big turnout with Duke involved almost always. As long as they don't lose the first day, then you're kind of in trouble. Tickets in Birmingham right now are astronomical.
Now, is UAB is not playing its NIT game at the same place, are they?
It plays at Bartow.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll play at Bartow tonight.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, that will be the NIT opener, and they have Southern Miss, former Conference USA rival, and those two were pretty heated rivals back in conference play. So, sometimes when you get those, you get the ability to have a game like that kind of come back, because you don't play Southern Miss very often anymore now that they're in the Sun Belt and you're moving to the AAC. Getting to renew a rivalry is always big, and the NCAA certainly has a bit of a sense of humor in that regard. And I certainly think that Yale and Vanderbilt probably had something to do with that as well, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that was an accident that those two were paired together. But yeah, we'll get to Joe here in a second, because I want to talk about the Preds. The Preds are currently, Mo, you said 5 points out, or has that changed since last night? Because
I've not looked today, but yeah, as of yesterday, going into last night's games, they were 5 points out of a playoff spot.
And that's a little insane to me, let's be honest, considering,
with everything that's going on, with the inconsistency of play there at one point, and then with all of the personnel moves that have taken place. So,
and yet still have every opportunity to make a run here late. We'll also talk about the Titans, because Mo, a lot of folks who before Monday were talking about how at some point Tennessee Titans fans were going to get impatient. Well, it's happened. Yeah, there's a lot of impatient folks in the Titans fan base today, especially considering that two Titans in free agency have now been signed by other teams. Mm-hmm. And one of them you thought was a pretty vital part of the depth of your defense, now headed to Chicago. So I'll be interested to see if Joe has any read on what the thought process is for Rand Carthon and that organization, and then of course what the Preds are thinking as well. So there's a lot to get into with this.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen any of the same type of impatient tweets?
Well, the impatience wasn't so much related to DeMarcus Walker's signing with Chicago as with David Long signing with Miami. So,
well, there's that too, and you figure with an $11 million contract, a lot of folks thought that was something that probably could have and should have gotten done. But
now, that said, I saw a tweet from Sam Phelan, who follows the Titans with A to Z Sports, I think, and he resurrected a comment from Mike Vrabel regarding David Long as being one of the repeat offenders of the soft tissue injuries that the Titans have struggled with over the last little bit. And when Vrabel discussed that, he mentioned David Long by name as a repeat offender. So, I mean, I don't know how vigorously they were trying to keep David Long in the fold.
Yes, said that
in light of that.
Said that some of those folks needed to learn how to train, and that's kind of part why we have a strength and conditioning staff, is to teach guys how to train. So there's that. But
yeah, and we talked about that some last season as all this was going on, and there doesn't seem to be as much scrutinizing of said staff as you would think there would be under the circumstances.
And there are some folks who say it's not their fault at all, which is, to me, just crazy. But obviously,
I mean, I don't know how you can just say it's not their fault. I don't know how you
or that they bear no blame at all.
Yeah, no,
they have to take some of. You are the strength and conditioning coach. You got to take something.
Strength and conditioning is what you do. That's all you have one job.
Yeah,
or two. Strengthen and condition. So
and
maybe those are two separate jobs. I don't know.
And a lot
I
of
wouldn't know much about either.
A lot of those players who have moved on to other organizations didn't have those type issues this year. So that's, for me, that's part of it. And so I'm just curious what Rand Carthon is planning. I mean, again, in Rand we trust at this point because he doesn't have
a track record.
He doesn't have an opportunity. Yeah, we don't know what to expect.
I mean, Rand Carthon is like the instructor that you walk in the first day of class and he says, everybody's got an A. Now, what you do with it is up to you. Rand Carthon's got an A right now. Let's see what happens.
What do you feel like would be a win this offseason for the Titans?
Well, I think you got to get some quality offensive linemen to start with. I mean, that is, to me, the most glaring shortcoming on this team, and it's something that's got to be addressed, and you can't address it all in the draft. So I think you have to have some of that figured out before the draft, to me. And they did sign a left tackle, I think.
A backup, former first round pick from the Eagles who had been moved to a backup role in Philadelphia, but has also played some guard. And apparently some folks are concerned about his arm length, not his wingspan, and saying he could end up playing guard for the Titans. So I don't know if I guess he's just a flex guy.
Well, I mean, just some quality up there, I think, in some way, shape, or form is going to be a good thing. You just, as you look back at what we were working with last year.
Is my mic muted? Can y'all hear me?
No, we can hear you.
Okay, I'm sorry. I just was gonna say, but I'm sorry. No, I didn't mean it like that. I couldn't hear myself on the thing.
No, we got you. We got
Sorry.
you.
I didn't mean it like that.
So, what do you feel like, Justin? Are you concerned?
I wanted to weigh in because David Long has been, every time I see him at the game, you always know where he's at because you're looking at the ball. You know, everybody's looking at the ball. He's always on the ball, like no matter what. And I just really grew very fond of him. He reminded me of, like Blaine Bishop out there. Like, somehow he's always, when the tackle is done, someone's lifting him up. You know, like he's
around the ball.
He's a dog. And I love it. The adversity he faces as far as size goes across the line, and he makes him look silly, man. And he makes plays.
You're right, but he makes plays when he's in there.
Exactly.
And
changes
again,
the dynamic.
But he's got to be in the game, and that's the problem.
That's true. This first year with injury, though, isn't it, or is there multiple?
No, that's what he's saying.
Right.
I mean, you can't pay a guy to be injured all the time.
Right.
A la Taylor Lewan or Zach Cunningham,
Michael Thomas, even though he just got that crazy contract.
You know that. I guess I can understand it. I guess my biggest concern with it to me is, where this team goes. I mean, obviously we have some cap space, but it's not like there's just a bunch of guys out there who can play
for more than
the middle of your
5
defense.
Years. Yeah.
Or the middle of your offense. And as you mentioned, Chris, we saw Tampa Bay move Columbia native Shaq Mason apparently to Houston. So now not only is he not going to help reinforce or refortify the Titans front, we're going to have to play against him twice a year. That would have been a nice fit here. I don't know how serious the talks were, if there were any talks at all, but if there weren't.
Now, this is coming from our very own Titan insider, Terry McCormick.
Yeah.
He was offered to the Titans, but no deal materialized, according to Terry's tweet.
He was offered to the Titans.
Yes.
Are you sure he wasn't like past the age of 37 and like in his prime already back in the day? Like I know we're going to get Adam Thielen. I just know we're going to acquire him. We as in the Titans, sorry.
I don't hate that.
I don't hate it, but it's just our MO.
I mean, he's a little past his prime. About Robert Woods, Julio Jones. The list goes on and on.
It's just crazy.
Of receivers that this organization has signed. Now, again, we have a brand new GM. So is that going to be a thing? I mean, I think Ran Carthen is trying to get draft picks.
You think so?
I think he is trying to load up on draft picks, and he's just going to try, over the next 2 or 3 years, rebuild this team from the collegiate ranks instead of the free agent ranks because, one, rookie deals are cheaper.
And people get hurt way sooner in their career as far as, like, if you play for 4 or 5 years, like Derrick Henry's a specimen. He's going on his 8th year now. I mean, that's a lot of times you got hit in your life.
See,
that's some Ran Carthon thinking, but I
still contend that Derrick Henry's only a 5th-year running back.
Right, because his first 2 years.
Just because he didn't play.
He didn't play
so much early. Yeah.
Everybody remembers that 3rd down. He was finally let in, 3rd 5. And he just, like, walked in. Everybody looked at each other. Can we just do that, like, every single time?
So, I mean, there's that. Now, Shaq was just traded, by the way. So this is his last year of a deal, which means that he very well could
ball out.
He very well could, come to Nashville in a free agency deal next year. I think that's important to note.
You've got to feel like, the opportunity to be here at home would be something that would have some attraction for him. Now, I mean, how much? I don't know. It's not something that I've had the opportunity to discuss with him, but it would just seem like, as active as he's been in the community here in Columbia, that there would be some draw to that.
I've
to
not
being here
talked to
full-time.
Shaq, but you know who I have talked to.
No.
I talked to his mama.
Oh, okay.
And she said it's always been his dream to play right here. So, a free agency deal, a long-term, maybe even team friendly, just to be at home. And I think it's not like he's got to go ring chasing. He's got plenty of those.
No.
So yeah, to me, it just seems like the perfect fit in his next free agent contract, which could happen next year.
Mm-hmm.
And look, it's not like we don't need guards. We need those. We could certainly use it.
I don't think there's anything we don't need on the offensive line.
They say, now I don't know how accurate this is, Mo, but and let me go back and make sure I'm getting the right name here. They say Aaron Brewer is really a center.
So he's going to step into Ben Jones's spot theoretically then.
But then you lose a guard. And how long until Radens comes back? Because he tore his ACL. When was that? In in the middle of the year.
I don't remember. Yeah.
It was his first possession playing left tackle and tore his ACL. I think it was against the Chiefs, Mo. So
there's a lot of work to be done along that line.
There's no question there.
Where do you start?
Where do you start? Yeah. Well, I guess they started on the left side of the line. See, if you move Aaron Brewer over to center and you just sign this, and I don't know the guy's name. I can't call it off the top of my head right now. The offensive lineman from Philadelphia. Yeah. Even if he plays guard or tackle, at least you feel like you've got three positions nailed down. You've got Petit Frere, who's probably going to end up playing tackle on the right side.
Especially if he works on his craft this year.
Yeah.
Good.
Brewer at center. This new guy at either guard or left tackle. So you've got three of the five, so long as everyone stays healthy, which obviously has been the biggest issue over the last 2 years for the Titans. So long as everyone stays healthy, though, you feel like you are at least moving in the right direction, right?
I would agree with that. I say you give Tannehill at least half a second longer than he's had on each throw. I know half a second sounds like it's nothing, but within QB time, that's more than enough. I feel like
every little bit helps.
Yeah.
Well, and then you've got Chigo Okonkwo, who is a very good blocking tight end.
Underrated.
And obviously he's great in the passing game as well, but he does give you that option as a blocker. So it's you still got to get open though in the passing game. Now that's been an issue as well. And in the wide receiver world, the Titans feel like they're getting, like you said, Justin, Adam Thielen seems to be like the likely hole filler there, but
we tried to put it on Hoop last year, and every time he got tackled, Austin Hooper made a great catch, but every time he was getting up, he looked like, all right, this is the last time I'm doing this year, like just because he's on his 11th season. I wanted to tweet at him, but I doubt he'd tweet back. What are you doing next year?
Well, it just feels like there's, everybody's kind of going after folks, and maybe the Titans are doing this in, Alex Anthopoulos style, Mo.
What's that?
Just because you don't hear something don't mean nothing's happening.
Doesn't mean nothing's going on. Yep. Yeah. That's it. Exactly. There's something to be said for that, man. as fans, it really kind of bothers you because you don't hear anything, you don't know anything,
You can't act impulsively.
because you're not hearing anything, you assume that nothing's going on. But like you said, that doesn't have to be the case.
And you know, Rand, he really does strike. Listen to me, Mr. Carthon, our general manager.
Like you don't like you know him.
Yeah, exactly. I'm
We're
like talking S
BFFs.
about him over here, but no, but he strikes me as one of those people you come up to him and you're like, "Hey, you do anything with the team?" And he looks at you like this, like we're doing some stuff, like, and then that's all you get.
Yeah.
If he gets Lamar, I mean,
you'll see when everybody else sees. Yeah,
exactly.
There you go. Well, hey, we couldn't get Joe on. I know he's got plenty to say in the world of of the Titans, Preds, Tennessee.
We may try to take another shot at him, depending on
what he's got going on in Orlando.
What he's got. Yeah, exactly.
So, all right. Well, we're going to take a quick break. We'll talk NCAA tournament, NIT, both right after this. So stick around. We'll come back to the Lee Company studio on Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint, after these messages. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net. Custom Stone Handlers supplies over 600 distributors and suppliers with quality stone products. Along with River Stone, we produce and distribute over 100 building, landscape, and other bulk products. Our goal is to provide quality products, service, and partnerships to ensure our customers' success. We firmly believe that the measure of any person or company is how they treat other people and customers. Give them a call at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com.
With Lee Company technology, the best handymen are hands-off. Lee Company techs have been using visual findings and other smart technology tools for years to add transparency and virtually take customers along. You see what we see, whether we're in a crawl space or on a roof. With Lee Company, technology helps us help you, no matter what's happening in the world or at your house.
You've been putting back a few, and a few becomes a few too many. For a moment, you think about calling for a ride. Nah, you live nearby. What's the worst that can happen? You get pulled over, your insurance goes up, you lose your license, you total your car, you kill someone.
Welcome back in Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Chris Yow and Mo Patton here with you on this Tuesday. Yes.
Tuesday. Top 5
Tuesday. Man, I had to think about that for a second. I was like, it's a beautiful day outside, though. Again, deceptively beautiful, Mo. But as I look, you know where I'm sitting. For those of you who have been watching this show at any point, you noticed I have turned my desk around. But so I am then looking outside into my backyard, and boy, it's just blue skies. Don't bother me. Beautiful, beautiful day.
As long as you're looking.
As long as you're looking and not out there in it. Don't be in it.
Yeah, because 43 here.
Yeah, I'm at 44, so I'm a little warmer. Farther south you go.
we are in a freeze warning until 10 a.m. tomorrow, according to the National Weather Service.
10 a.m. tomorrow. That has no significance at all for us, does it?
No.
I haven't even heard of that. 10 a.m. What is it?
We're going to be on the road during this freeze warning, Justin.
Well, hopefully we're not on the road at 10 a.m. We should be in place by 10 a.m. Yeah.
Right. Yes, but before then is when the freeze warning is. So we should be driving during the middle of the freeze warning, which is the problem.
We're here to beat traffic.
There's no precip between now and then, though, so it shouldn't be much of a problem.
Knock on all of the wood.
Yes, you've ever owned.
I'm knocking out so much wood right now. It's ridiculous. I don't want to deal with it.
I think you did too many times. We're screwed.
Yeah, gosh, just please don't weather.
Hey, we appreciate it. Next time you think about doing, don't.
Exactly. Please, Mother Nature. If you are stuck in tonight, you can watch some basketball. First four at 6:45. SEMO and Texas A&M Commerce.
No. Texas A&M Corpus
Christi. That's it. Yeah. Corpus Christi, a 3.5-point favorite over the Redbirds of Southeast Missouri State.
The winner plays overall number 1 seed Alabama. So, be careful what you wish for.
And these games are always toss-ups. I don't know. I mean, I'm rooting for SEMO because go OVC, I guess.
Right.
That's where I'm at. And then
I have no reason to root for TAMCC. So
right. And here's the thing is the NIT will be going on at the same time, and at 7:30, Southern Miss and UAB will be playing their game we talked about earlier. But it's on ESPN Plus. The only NIT game not on an ESPN Family Network.
Wow. What's it on again?
ESPN Plus.
As opposed to
ESPN, ESPN2, ESPNU. They couldn't even put it on ESPN News.
Okay. I got you. So you gotta go to the app pretty much to get that, as opposed to everything else.
Right. The rest of them are on television.
Okay. Real TV. Yeah.
So there's that. But yeah, it's on Twitter live like us. Hey, shame. Pitt and Mississippi State tonight. That's a 9:15 tip. Mississippi State 1.5-point favorite. Are you surprised by that?
I don't know enough about Pitt really to have a feel for that one.
Vandy Bowl.
Yeah, exactly. I think Mississippi State has played pretty well, though, at times over the course of this season. I know Vanderbilt beat them in the final game of the year, but I just kind of I credited that. I credited that more to Vanderbilt than Mississippi State, really.
Yeah, but then they barely beat Florida and then got drubbed by Bama.
Well,
which again,
I don't know that there's any
by Bama.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know that there's any real offense being committed when you get drilled by Vanderbilt. By Alabama, excuse me.
I just feel I don't know. I guess I'm more concerned with how they've played down the stretch, but Pittsburgh hasn't played well either. So both teams kind of, they played themselves into this game, essentially.
Exactly.
Outside of that, the NIT matchups that we can see tonight, Toledo, Michigan, which is who the winner of Vanderbilt Yale will play. And if Vanderbilt wins against the Bulldogs, they will host the winner of Michigan and Toledo. So may want to watch that one if you're second round games against Michigan haven't gone so well for teams in this state in the last year. So perhaps I'm just saying.
I ain't saying. I'm just saying. Yeah.
There you go. So there's that. Vanderbilt tonight against Yale. How you feeling about this one?
I'd have felt a lot better about it if Miles Studi hadn't announced that he's going into the portal, and I assume he's not playing tonight.
Yeah, one would deduce that once you go into the portal, you don't play no more. But we did see some folks who were in the portal who played in bowl games.
Yeah.
So I guess it's possible, but I'm going to go with not likely that you'll see him.
I don't think it's very likely at all. I think the timing of that is intriguing. I mean, I'm not sure I understand why when you've still got when your team is still playing, why you make that announcement. But I don't know. It's
well, from what I understand, when the portal opened, you felt a lot of these guys felt like they had to go in, so that they didn't get left behind. So that folks knew that, hey, I'm going to be available, or I am available before other players whose teams are not playing scooped up, and then you're out of a roster spot.
Yeah, that makes sense. That you got to make if you're going, you need to go ahead and go so that you have as many options for your next spot as possible.
Right. So I guess that's where they're at, and that's that's kind of a catch-22. I mean, there are some guys whose teams are in the NCAA tournament, and they're they've decided they're going to the portal. So I mean, I don't know what you do. That's just where you kind of got to go. So
yeah, and it's interesting his Twitter announcement. I wish all my former teammates the very best as they compete in the NIT tournament, the National Invitational Tournament. I will be rooting for them to bring home an NIT championship. I've discussed this situation with my family and I've prayed on it. And today I've decided to enter my name in the transfer portal to find a new home that will allow me to grow as a basketball player, maximize my ability to support my teammates, and help my team win basketball games.
That last paragraph, whether he meant to or not, has got some shade in it.
See, I thought that maybe up to that point, though, you're talking about, Chris, it seemed pretty sincere.
Sure. I think all of it's sincere.
I think all of it's sincere. I'm just sure. I don't think sincerity is the issue. In fact, I think sincerity might be the problem.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like they're taking it as we're actually going to do it more now because you told us not to.
Yeah, he got a little too sincere in that last paragraph there.
Right. Yeah. And I if I hear about it, I'm gonna beat. I'm just kidding.
No, I just feel like to maximize my abilities to support my teammates and help my team win basketball games. Is he basically saying I'm not being coached very well?
I don't know what he's saying, but there's something in there that's intriguing, I think. But
he's still elite, right?
He's
still an elite basketball player.
I mean,
hands down.
He averaged 8.4 points and 4.6 rebounds for the season. Shot 36% from three, 6'5" forward.
If I was able to touch the ball in NBA, I mean, he's an athlete, so that's cool. That's cool.
Now, I'm trying to figure out what's he got. He's got 1 year left, Chris?
I think so, yeah.
No, 2. I'm sorry. He'll have 2 years at his next program. So,
good luck, man.
To answer your original question, Chris, I think Vanderbilt's going to go in here with a chip on their shoulder.
Against or with who? The player or the?
No, with the fact that they felt like they should have been in the NCAAs and aren't. And
gotcha.
I think I think they're really going to feel like they've got something to prove. I mean, you can go one of two ways in the NIT. I think either you're just ready to be done, or you're ready to
Fight.
torch somebody. And I think
No matter what
Vanderbilt
it
is
is.
in that second mindset. Excuse me.
Profound.
I'm with you 100%. That's what I said last night. I said there's no way Yale is beating a ticked off Vanderbilt team. Just not going to happen.
In Memorial.
They're out to prove something, and they're going to prove it. So
I'm interested to see what kind of crowd they have tonight, to be honest.
I'm very interested to see what kind of crowd tonight they're going to have. Baseball is at First Horizon.
First Horizon.
We mentioned that. So
makes it a little harder to go from the game to the game.
It does make it harder, especially when, I don't know if they're going to play tonight, Mo. If there's a freeze warning, are they going to play baseball tonight? I wouldn't.
And it's natural grass too. I mean, if it were at the Hawk where you've got the artificial turf, it might be different, but it's natural grass and the Sounds are a month away, maybe.
They play the 31st.
We should talk with our buddy that came on, the Sounds guy. I think he's the voice for him.
Yeah,
it's cool. It's cool.
But so they may not want him playing on that grass.
Makes sense.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah. Anyway, we need to take a short break. We have Chip Walters standing by. He is live from Murphy Center, where we will be next week. How exciting! Or not next week, tomorrow. Our next show is what I meant. We will be there, and Chip is coming to us from Murphy Center. So we'll check in with him right after this on Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Back to the Lee Company studio after this. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net. Custom Stone Handler supplies over 600 distributors and suppliers with quality stone products. Along with River Stone, we produce and distribute over 100 building, landscape, and other bulk products. Our goal is to provide quality products, service, and partnerships to ensure our customers' success. We firmly believe that the measure of any person or company is how they treat other people and customers. Give them a call at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com.
With Lee Company technology, the best handymen are hands-off. Lee Company techs have been using visual findings and other smart technology tools for years to add transparency and virtually take customers along. You see what we see, whether we're in a crawl space or on a roof. With Lee Company, technology helps us help you, no matter what's happening in the world or at your house.
You've been putting back a few, and a few becomes a few too many. For a moment, you think about calling for a ride. Nah, you live nearby. What's the worst that can happen? You get pulled over, your insurance goes up, you lose your license, you total your car, you kill someone.
Welcome back in Main Street Sports, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. We are coming to you from the Lee Company studio. You see on the screen that QR code there. Go ahead and scan that QR code for us and visit the Lee Company website. You'll be doing us a huge favor, and we would very much appreciate it. Go check them out and see what they can bring to you. We go now to Murphy Center, where Chip Walters is at the TWSAA Blue Cross Basketball Championships. For taking some time to visit with us today. Chip, how's it going?
Doing good. I have to tell Mo that I actually lied to him on Sunday. I didn't think I was going to be here today, but I am. I'm going to be doing the 4:30 game on radio, Memphis Overton and McMinn County. Right now, Haywood County and Unicoi County just got underway, and Haywood County's up 7-2.
7-2. Okay.
Yep.
Who won the last one?
I do have that here. It was, let me look through my program here. It was in 3A. This is the last. Okay, here's what's happened today. Yep, Ridgeway had a big comeback, and Chester County helped them with 33 turnovers.
Oh.
And Ridgeway ran it 40-36, and as our friend Joe Fisher said on the radio, yet again, the Roadrunner eludes the Coyote.
That's so fantastic.
Yeah, that myth. I saw something on Twitter about Coyotes actually being faster than Roadrunners, though. So we were miseducated all of our lives on that one. But, Chip, have you not had time to take your vest off, or is it necessary in Murphy Center right now?
Well, you know, I'll get a little rest next week, because this week was either going to be following Middle's men to some postseason destination, or it would be doing some TSSAA stuff. And fortunately, going to be doing a couple of TV games on Saturday. I'll have the 2A and the 4A games on Saturday. Kyle is actually going to be with Mr. Palmer with the women. So the grizzled veteran, Ronnie Bargatze, will join me on TV for those two games.
That should be fun.
Yeah, it will be. Coach B and I we've done a lot of games together, but it's been a little while.
Okay. All right. Chip, we can't go too far in your segment without mentioning the two-time Tennessee Sports Writers Association's Pitcher of the Week. Jaden Ham earns that award for the second time this season after his complete game one-hit shutout Friday night against Evansville with 11 strikeouts and 3 walks. The first one-hit complete game 9-inning shutout for MTSU in more than 40 years. My math fails me there, but since 76.
Wow. I would have thought there might have been one in there somewhere, but he is, you know, he's really playing, and he's pitching with a lot of confidence, and he also is pitching with confidence in his teammates defensively. He's not afraid to let the ball go in play, but, you know, the other night, out of the 27 outs, you know, his teammates only had to worry about 16 of them because he struck out 11. So he's really being a leader in the pitching room. So, you know, and the young kid Baronick, he had a decent outing on Sunday, but I think we're going to continue to see him grow. He's still young and all that, but right now Middle's hitting the ball pretty good. But once you get a little deep in the bullpen, which this time of year you're probably playing a few more games than you would normally play. Now you're going to get into your weekend conference rotation, and all of that's going to start to come together. Okay, Jaden's going to be your Saturday, Eric Swan, right, or Ham's going to be your Friday. Eric Swan appears to have the Saturday lockdown. Baronick looks to be your Sunday guy. And how are you going to balance that out and mix and match with your bullpen and with conference weekends coming up? Although there is still one more non-conference game this week. That'll be tomorrow night here against Tennessee Tech. And up until like 2 days ago, the time was to be determined, and some geniuses decided it would be good to play at night tomorrow night. So it's going to be a little chilly tomorrow night, but that'll be over at Reese Smith Field. So folks who do come get a chance to, if you're coming to the state tournament, you got a chance to catch a little baseball too.
Little double dip in there. Yeah, Ham improves to 3-1 on the year with that win on Friday night with a 2.57 ERA. 36 strikeouts in 28 innings and 4 appearances. That ain't bad. That ain't bad. Chip Walters, the voice of the Blue Raiders, joining us here on Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Chris?
Yeah, no, Chip, we were listening to your call of the FAU game, and I was recording it just in case we needed to use it on the show because it was going to be an all-time, and I feel. But just being able to get back into that game and making it a contest, really thought that the guys played really well in the conference tournament.
I did too, and left every ounce that they had out there. It's crazy that this was the second year in a row that Nick McDevitt has had to go into a conference tournament without his leading scorer. Last year, Josh Jefferson was out. This year, Eli Lawrence was out going into the tournament. Didn't play at all against Charlotte. Thought we might get 6 or 8 minutes out of him on Saturday or on Friday rather. But Eli, who was playing in pain, I mean, it's close, from our location, I could see the grimaces on his face. But they got 30 minutes out of him on Saturday, and he was part of the comeback. And, you get down to the end, and you've got Dishman where you have a missed free throw. Then you've got Dish that's got 2 chances in the paint and a lot of traffic around him. So I mean there was that, and then they ran the Valpo play perfect at the end of the game to try to tie it. The old Bryce Drew play, except they ran it to the left side of the floor instead of the right side of the floor. Ran it just right. I mean, and probably as good a look as Cam had gotten the whole tournament, including the several threes, because he hit the step back 3 on Thursday to beat Charlotte. It was an easier look than that one actually, but just didn't get it to go down. And between Eli's injury, Dish, I mean, after he kind of retweaked his knee during that game. Also, T. Leonard wasn't quite 100%. And as Nick McDevitt said on his post-game radio show, they had been offered a postseason opportunity, and just not being able to get down there close to 100% was, I think, a determining factor in not going.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense. As much as you hate to give up the opportunity to continue to play and for the younger players to continue to practice, if you can't go in at some level of competitiveness from a health standpoint, what good are you doing yourself? So yeah, that's a tough way to shut it down. But
I think you look at last year, they were pretty healthy except for Josh Jefferson. And what Nick had been through in his first 3 years and the program had been through building back, last year was such an important year to take that step, get into the postseason. I think this year, had it been, the next step up, had it been the NIT, I think you would have found a way to work yourself into that, because, this was it's now's the time where you can sit back and look and see how this season played out. And even though there's a lot of players that were on last year's team, this was still a totally different team with a different mindset about them and, a different level of competition. Best Conference USA across the board in 14 years. And, and they finish in that top 4 among 4 really good teams, Middle, UAB, North Texas, and FAU. And they've become one of only 3 teams that beat FAU all year, and probably played them the best of any team in the 3 games they played against them.
Chip, we talked to Rick Ansel yesterday, and he said he gave us a heck of a quote. Said he wouldn't be surprised to see this women's team in the Final Four. That's like Mo said, that's not something he just, he would say lightly. Looks like the game time has been announced. They obviously have to go to Duke, and they'll play in that first round game against Colorado. And if they win, they'll get, potentially Duke or Iona. But how are folks feeling on campus about this team? Do they feel like there's a legitimate chance to get out of the first and second rounds?
I think that the overwhelming feeling, and Mo, you were there Sunday night to see the celebration and selection show, and what I thought was interesting is I went on Twitter right after it, and I see all these people griping about disrespecting the seed and blah 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 blah, but everybody that was there in person at the restaurant all came away saying, man, this is a great draw, best draw that Middle's gotten in years, and I think that is, to me, it's, people want to make a big deal about where the seedings and all are. I think it's all about matchups, and I think that's one thing that Rick is looking at, because Colorado, as Rick has said, very similar in the style of play and makeup of Middle's team, and Duke, while very very good, it's not like you're having to face the size of Stanford or the athleticism of Connecticut. You play a team that is much more normal as far as put together. So, I think, if you've got everybody going, Middle's hard to beat, as Western saw in the finals. When they get on a roll and start making threes, and Savannah Wheeler doing Savannah Wheeler things, they're really fun to watch and are hard to deal with, because they can come at you in so many different ways, offensively, that they're going to be a tough out.
You're absolutely right, Chip. And, when we spoke to Rick yesterday, that was kind of what he said with regards to, the seed rather than as opposed to the path. And Middle's path, you can't argue with. And as far as these Lady Raiders, we saw it this past weekend out in Frisco. You talk about the different directions, the different places they can come at you offensively. Alexis Whittington is viewed as a defensive stopper, but when she's knocking down threes the way she did over the weekend, it just makes them that much tougher to beat, to go along with, Jalen Gregory and, like you said, Savannah Wheeler and some of those other offensive weapons they've got. Again, like you said, those of us who were there came away feeling good about where Middle sits in this bracket. I mean, it's an 11 seed, but the number doesn't mean anything at this point.
That's right. You just got to go play games, and in the play, Kyle and I've talked about it a good bit, in that, if Ksenia Maleshka is rolling, she can create her own shot. She can block shots. She can shoot the basketball. She can rebound. She is an X factor that can take them a long way.
Fun to watch, absolutely. Chip, before we get out of here, we need to mention MTSU softball got its first no-hitter in nearly 5 years in a 10-0 5-inning win over Appalachian State. I think it was on Friday. Cameron Karchich in her debut in the circle for the Lady Raiders.
I think she announced I think she announced her presence with authority, and
there you go. It's like, maybe I should have been in there before now. Yeah,
that's right. But they're off to a great start, and 16-5 or something like that right now. They the best start in school history, and fortunately, even with some rainy weather, they were able to get the entire tournament in last weekend. Wow, there's Justin Kulik, and they were able to get that whole thing in, and do very very well with it. So, I think they're gonna, the way they're playing, if they continue to put runs up like they're doing, they're gonna be right in the thick of things as far as Conference USA is concerned.
Chip, you should have seen us trying to figure out what the heck was going on when we got to campus on, I guess, Friday morning. We were like, why is the softball lights on? Why are there people in the stands? We figured that out. So anyway, it was pretty interesting to see. But we got a top 5 today that's going to be really interesting, Chip. It's sandwiches. And I know that top 5 sandwiches is probably going to be a heated draft here. So
Heated. Ha!
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
So,
Toasted or pressed.
There you go. Just it's gonna be interesting. You might wanna check it out when we get done and put it up.
Yeah, I'll throw one out there just as kind of an everyday, everyman sandwich that you can get anywhere. I know Primanti Brothers, that's Pittsburgh, that kind of thing. But as far as everyday go-to sandwich, Firehouse Hook and Ladder.
It's a good one. It's a good one. All day, every day. Chip, we appreciate you, man. Just look forward to seeing
Thank
you
you, boys.
This week.
All right, man.
All right, good deal.
See you, Chip.
See you.
See you, Justin.
All right, we go right into it as we have the. There we go.
There
we go.
Try to get our top 5 Tuesday draft a going. As it's
we're doing foods, right? Is that what that was?
Sandwiches.
Sandwiches.
Top
So
5 sandwiches.
yeah, top 5 sandwiches. Here we go. What do you say?
Let's go.
So we'll have to, since Justin wasn't in last week and I didn't put the poll up, we'll have to draw numbers or something.
Just let Justin go first.
Justin gets to go first because he obviously would have lost last week.
Right.
I think that I appreciate you letting me go first, but you guys underestimate that I have the high ground. And my favorite burger. We're doing restaurants, no local,
whatever you want, man. It's just a sandwich. Whatever you feel like is a sandwich.
I'm saying from a place that you guys wouldn't know about. I shouldn't say
That's okay. That's up to you, man.
Okay, I'm gonna go with a double quarter pounder cheese with no onions or pickles. Please, thank you.
Chris, go ahead.
Lie to me, tell me it's a good burger.
Okay, so a double quarter pounder from McDonald's, I assume.
With cheese. And if I see an onion on there, I'm coming in. No, I'm just kidding. I'll eat it.
I love it.
Okay, I'm going PBJ. I want peanut butter and jelly, and I want strawberry jelly.
I was going to ask you what jelly. Okay,
there you go.
Hey, that Mid-South 5 Fitness graphic is sick.
It is kind of fire. I'm not gonna lie.
Out of all logos we've had, that's a nice one. And Lee, of course, and Tennessee Point. Everybody's killing it.
I'm going with the Jersey Mike's Philly steak and cheese, but no onions, no peppers. Add bacon.
Ooh, going straight for the meat flavor.
Yes,
I
sir.
love it.
Mo doesn't do vegetables on anything that has meat.
I don't either, Mo. I'm like, I don't know the veggies lover or whatever.
No.
Yeah, it's just like no.
Miss me with that.
No chance. My turn.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go thin crust pizza from Pancheros. It's in Lebanon. I think they have one in Mount Juliet as well.
They make it a sandwich?
No, I'm just saying like the street style.
It's a sandwich. It's
on the screen.
Oh yeah, okay, sorry. I mean, I make mine into a sandwich, but you're right. I get what you're saying.
I'm so confused.
Chicken bacon ranch. Does that have to be from a place?
From Subway?
That's doable.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Chris?
All right.
It's not stuff that you make into a sandwich. Got it.
So I'm going to go Firehouse, but I'm going to go with the Italian.
It's a good one. I forgot about Firehouse.
I'm going with my go-to when I go to Chicken Salad Chick.
Never been there, man.
You
Sassy Scotty.
I know.
No.
No, what?
Barbecue. On a croissant.
A croissant?
Yes, sir.
My fifth is probably overrated. But honestly, man, like I love their bread. Subway. I go there and I get a fat scoop, as many scoops as I can of tuna. Just lay it on.
Okay.
Pickles, little cucumbies.
Got a comment here. The Monte Cristo from Cheddar's. That sounds good. I don't. It's kind of like a Cuban, and that's kind of what I'm going to go with here. I'm going to go with a Cuban sandwich.
Cubans are
collusion
good.
from the audience. Nice. Just kidding.
The Monte Cristo at Cheddar's is good, but it's a little heavy.
Cheddar's used to be. I mean, they still are really good.
Oh, Cheddar's is solid. Cheddar's is solid.
Especially when Mount Juliet, the one you're talking about.
Well, I've not been to the
Cool
one in Mount
Springs,
Juliet, but there's one in Cool Springs. Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. There's also one in Murfreesboro. I'm not going Cuban, but I'm going with a spinoff of the Cuban that they used to have when there was a Deli 31 in Columbia, and it no longer exists.
With the brisket.
The Muletown Reuben was what it was with the brisket. Yes. Of course, I didn't get it on raw bread. I got it on croissant as well. But
all right, no hezzies.
I have my little tweaks because I'm kind of a diva like that.
I feel you, man. You have to be. It's your palate. I'm gonna go like. This is more of the restaurant, just because of how much I love this restaurant. But there's not one single bad thing I've ever had on a Chili's sampler, where you get the egg rolls, you get the wing, you get the crispers, you get the celery.
None of those are sandwiches.
They have they have two sliders. Two sliders are on them as well.
We're gonna go with chili sliders then.
Chili sliders.
Okay.
You know who has? Do you know who has like underrated sliders? Arby's.
Yeah, they do, and I will never rate them.
They're really good.
They're not bad.
I'm gonna go with a hot ham and cheese.
Just in general.
There used to be this place right off of campus at MTSU B&L, and they delivered.
Whoa.
Hot ham and cheese. Yeah.
That's clutch.
Number 4.
I'm going back to Subway for the All-American Club. Ideally on Italian herbs and cheese.
There you go. Justin, number 5.
My number 5 is after the 9th hole at a golf course, you go into the clubhouse and you get the thick bologna and cheese sandwiches that are from the refrigerator. There's nothing better. Is that a Sammy there?
See, that sucks because I was gonna go a fried bologna from Robert's Western Wear, but from Robert's on Broadway. Crap. I'm gonna go with a sweet onion from Subway.
Okay.
Sweet onion chicken.
On that.
Oh, you got 10 seconds.
Turkey, cheese, and bacon.
Classic.
Anywhere.
There you go. All right, folks. We'll see you tomorrow live from Murphy Center. This has been Main Street Sports Day presented by Mid Tennessee Bone and Joint.